Hey there, Absolute Fam. It's me, Dr. Anthony, and if you guys are fans of Daniel Day-Lewis like myself, you've probably seen the movie There Will Be Blood, and you're aware of the famous scene where DDL, my man, talks about how drainage in the oil fields, how if he has a straw that stretches from one milkshake to another, and he sips the straw, even though he doesn't own the other person's glass, he's still going to drink their milkshake. And that in the oil fields that he owns, that there's drainage, and that by milling the word, by drilling for oil, that he could get the drainage from one to another. And I'm not here to talk about oil, I'm not here to talk about milkshakes, but what I am here to talk about is drainage in your immune system. Because around this time, we have a couple different conversations with people. For our individuals who have been under chiropractic care and are in our wellness phase of care, where their whole systems of the body are functioning better, around this time they're typically telling me that every single year I have always been dependent on something like a Zyrtec to be able to get through the day, to be able to breathe, to be able to sleep, to be able to do anything. And this is the first year that I don't have to use that, which is amazing, great, awesome, fantastic. I love the fact that you can go out there and enjoy your life, and that your body isn't stuffy, congested, is having issues draining, and that you are able to actually make those changes naturally, absolutely, right? And then the other conversation that we have is from new practice members that say, hey, I met Miss Susie, she said that her allergies are massively changed. So what allergy-based adjustment, what ear infection adjustment, what congestion adjustment can you give me that is going to help with that? I'm here to tell you guys a little secret, which is there's no magic adjustment. There's no magic fix. Sorry. Rather, what happens is if you actually look at the normal physiology of the body, the way that the immune system is actually meant to train, the way the immune system is actually meant to function, is that our sinuses, our mouth, our eyes, our ears will actually have our lymph system drain that information, drain all of that fluid buildup down through the lymph system in our neck, which goes into our gut, which goes into our lungs. It's the reason we might have something like a productive cough as a normal, natural, healthy immune response of the body, and then down into our gut, where the immune system, 70% of our body's immune cells are located, and then they get right to work trying to kill whatever is draining down to there. Now, what we have found is that through a couple different mechanisms. One, just a straight up structural mechanism where there's subluxation in the spine, and that affects a lot of the movement of the musculature in the neck, and would actually can crimp off and cause back up and cause build up of that lymph up here, right? Is that when we have subluxation present, there's going to be a tightness and inflammation in that area that's going to stop the lymph system from actually draining properly. And another way, it's even more important, is that the vagus nerve, which is highly responsible for the resting, the digesting functions of the body, actually exits the cranium, comes past the first cervical vertebra, and actually is very much responsible for the proper movement and function of the immune system completely, and actually has direct innervation and branches off that affect things like the lymph system. And that when we see subluxation present, especially in children, what begins to happen is it stops that drainage system from functioning the way that it should, right? It causes buildup. It stops things from functioning as they should. So overall, what I want you to do is kind of look at this and look at whenever there's a problem, whenever there's an issue, a challenge, a symptom, whatever it is, I always want to ask the question, why? So I had a conversation with a mama the other day about how her child's eyes, she remembers back when they were a kiddo, that their eyes were constantly getting crusty, constantly getting infected, and that the standard medical response at this time was, okay, well, if we're constantly getting these ear infections due to this buildup, or these eye infections and ear infections, let's start to give antibiotics to kill the bacteria that are building up in these areas. And yeah, that'll work, right? I mean, have lots of different side effects and things like that. But my question isn't, well, why isn't let's just kill the bacteria? My question is, well, the lymph system is supposed to drain. Why is it not? And we asked a lot of questions from that point about the birth trauma, stress, what childhood looks like, baby's supposed to eat, sleep, poop, and where was I going? Did we have proper head control? And after asking these questions and doing evaluation on the kiddo, it's clear that there was subluxation present, there was misalignments present that have been there for a long time. So for us now, understanding that there are these immune system dysfunctions, it also affects other things as well. The goal isn't to just go in there and say, okay, you're feeling symptoms of sickness, let's go in there and make you feel better right now. But we understand that if the body and the nervous system if it's not draining properly, let's figure out why. Let's correct it and allow the body to be better able to adapt to the physical, chemical, emotional stressors it encounters on a daily basis. Allow the plumbing system to be able to function better, which is controlled by the nervous system. And because we can look at correcting the cause, well, when you correct the cause, the reason why these symptoms were there in the first place, we're going to get to see long-term change. We're going to get to have that conversation with a mother who gets to say things like, my child was on antibiotics every month, every other month for the last 2 years, and now it's been 6 months since we've done anything. We get to have that conversation with an adult and say, there's no way this time last year I could even get through the day without popping my DayQuil, my NyQuil, the afternoon quill, right? And now I don't need any of that whatsoever. When we actually look at the cause and get the body to adapt and function better, that's where true health is achieved. So I hope that this information kind of changed your perspective a little bit, changed your insight in looking at how to approach problems in your family and your health and your life. If you got anything out of this, please go ahead and share this with tag a family member, friend, loved one who you think would be able to benefit. Again, Dr. Anthony from Absolute Chiropractic. Looking forward to talking to you guys soon.